It all started with the fractals. Everything about Ishimoku started with the fractal, about the market, about the trading forex, and everything about the power of the Vjta started with the fractal. You see that this triangle has like, there is a big triangle that has small triangle inside, and it is a triangle is a geometric form. A geometric form is a triangle. Another geometric form is a line, an hexagon, a pentagon, a square, fractal squares. The life is actually fractal. The life is a geometric, is a geometry. The market itself, this screen, the whole string, this whole string is just a geometry. But by the way, what we have is that now you have in front of you, you have a rectangular screen that is called trading view. And you have what on the screen? A candle that is a rectangle, two lines that are two geometrical figure, and Ishimoku lines like this that are curved. So the geometry, it all starts with the geometry. The geometry that you have is that first you have a rectangle. You have vertical lines, and then you have curve. You have curve, the Ishimoku curve. Those are the three geometric that impact the power of Vjta. That's where it all started. So what happened is that Ishimoku has been Ishimoku said that Ishimoku has preferred, Gosho Ozoda, the creator of the Ishimoku indicator, he preferred to use the top of the wick, the bottom of the wick of each candle, because if you realize that we have four unique prices on a candle. If that is a daily candle, for example, we have four unique prices. You have the extreme top of the wick, that is one price. You don't have two extreme. Then you have the close of the candle, that is the price, the unique price number 2. So yes, the close of the candle. The opening of the candle, that is the unique price number 3. And then the bottom wick, that is the unique price number 4. You don't have two bottom of a wick. That price is so unique. But the thing is that you only have two extreme that will never change. Two extreme prices. You have two extreme prices, right? Only two extreme prices. You have the top of the wick and the bottom of the wick. Only these two are the extremes. Why are they the extreme? If you are on daily time frame, you are in the daily time frame, right? And during a whole day, sellers, let us say that you sell a shoes of 35,000 francs CFA. 35,000 francs CFA, which is roughly $50. A shoes. You know that if a seller sells a shoes at 35,000 francs CFA, the buyer will try to negotiate the price at a cheaper price at 25,000, from 35 to 25,000. But in between, right, you can have here the opening price, like you can have here maybe 27,000, 37K, or yeah, 30K, right? But the psychological mindset of a seller will be that I cannot go lower than 25,000. And the psychological maximum of, like, the seller will say that I cannot sell my shoes to you lower than 25,000. If not, I don't make any profit. So that's the seller maximum psychological level, right? So the best, cheapest price of a buyer will be here. You know that the market is that for a transaction to happen, the price of the seller must be equal to the price of the buyer. So for us to have this equality, psychologically, both of them must be aligned. They must sign a psychological verbal contract. So when the seller comes to start to sell you a shoes and overpriced 35,000, he knows that you would argue. So, but in his mind, he cannot go lower than 25. If you say even 20K, he will say no. I cannot be selling a shoes and losing. So this one will be the agreement price. And this agreement price is unique, is the only one for this particular seller. And even the buyer now has his maximum. He cannot buy more than 35,000. Maybe, so let us say that above here, the seller started taxing 50K shoes. The buyer had his maximum, roughly maximum at 35,000. The buyer cannot buy more than this. Psychologically, he will not accept it that like a shoes that is being sold here in this specific market, right, is more than 35,000. And he knows the price is not that stupid. Even those mumu buyers are not that stupid. They will not go and buy 50K, even if they have money, even if they are rich. They roughly know approximately how much it costs. Okay, so that's why those are the two unique extreme psychological mindset of buyers and sellers at this point. So Ishimoku Gosho Ozoda decided to create an indicator who takes into consideration only those 2 points. You know that moving averages take in consideration openings and close, moving averages, like simple moving average. That's why the movement of a moving average is smooth like this. But the reason why Ishimoku has like straight movement like this, plateau and inclination, is because it takes the extreme. What does that mean? It means that Ishimoku is a reversal indicator. It shows only the point of reversal where the market will turn, because here the market has turned. The maximum reversal point. That's why Ishimoku has a lot of power in it. It shows only the maximum reversal psychological point where there is no more negotiation then. That's why when the price touches an Ishimoku line, the price will always reverse. Okay, that's the power of it. That's the power of Ishimoku, the elite power of the indicator. So now, when you have the indicator that is so powerful like this, you thank his owner, who is Goshi Ozoda. But now, the lecture that I'm giving you as Frank Vjta give you the best way to read the market. Not those bullshit on YouTube, those guru told you, everybody were repeating themselves. The trading game has become like nobody has the creativity to understand that you need to create a cycle, you need to meditate. They all repeat themselves. You break above Kijun, they break above candle. What the fuck is that? This generic way of reading the market is killing every trader. That's why people lose. Keep losing. At least they don't analyze well. So when you have the Vjta Ishimoku cycle and the Vjta way of reading the market, that's why you think the elite power of Vjta. So I think a lot go shows that to have created the indicator, but I know that it didn't have this way of reading the market. So I thank myself, and I'm proud of myself without being superior to Gosho Zoda, because Gosho Zoda actually created the formula. Like the man completely said, if you take the average of 1, 2, 3, 9 candle extremity, you divide it also by 9, you have a point, a median point. This one is a genius, mathematical genius. I think I've read some some Ishimoku history that is about him, how he came to the point of having this Ishimoku indicator. It's just that he realized that when he does the average over a certain period of time, an average, the price come and touch the line of that average, the candle keep bouncing back to the upside. Like he had like papers like this manual paper where he wrote like an Excel sheet, something like this with numbers. He made a realization, a remark based on those numbers. That's when he come up with this formula. That's a genius formula. I love it. I thank yourself. Then I thank myself now to have come up in the industry with this way of reading, this elite power of reading the market that I'm sharing with you because I want you to be a genius of geometrical analysis because you only have geometrical figure on the screen, right? And you need to use fractal, the fractality of the market. So everything comes from geometric fractal. You have it in flowers, you have fractal individual, even towns have fractals, everything. So now let us talk about the power of Vjta. We are still in this same document. I need to go back to the top side. We are still in this same document and the last point. So I renamed the document here, the tab here by saying this tab by with the name ordinance of Vjta Ishimoku, like the farmer ordinance. So you have here many principles. We have the reversal principle. What does the reversal principle mean? Every time a setup is being touched, every time a setup is being touched, right? It is a reversal. It is a reversal. So you already know everything that is in this document. You already know every one of these elements. We have done it on previous video. All of this. I'm just speaking to you about it a little bit again to show you that that is elite power that you will have now to trade with it. So every type of setup is a reversal. Like when you're on 4 hour like this, see how when we touch SSB, the trade went to the upside. When we touch Kijun, the trade go to the upside. So every setup touch is a reversal. Now, inclination. Now, as I told you, Ishimoku, each line of Ishimoku here are reversal line. I call them reversal line. Ishimoku is a reversal indicator, basically. It's a reversal indicator. It just show you at each time I will be touched, I will make the price reverse. Each time I will be touched, I will make the price reverse. So that's what I'm trying to talk about here. I made a mistake while translating. Try to translate this. So each line of Ishimoku is a reversal line. So a cross of Ishimoku gives you and what I'm saying here is that a cross of the line, each cross of the line gives the direction, the movement. If the line goes to the upside, then the movement will go to the upside. If the line goes to the downside, the movement will go to the downside. So now we have the separation, the amount of separation, the thickness, the amount of separation between the lines, right? The fusion of the fat gives you the sign of the movement, right? We have, for example, here, this separation here is called what? Fat, right? Tenkan and Kijun are fatly separated. This one make the move go to the downside. And then this here, Tenkan and Kijun are in fusion and make the move go to the upside. That is basics. We already know it. I told you it previously. So now, next thing we have the orientation and duration of Tenkan bending. Tenkan bending to the upside on daily, for example. Tenkan bending on daily on the upside on daily, for example. The orientation and the duration. What do I call the orientation and duration? You know that when Tenkan bend, how many days does it do? Tenkan bended here from this point to this point to the downside, and then was up to the upside from this point to this point. You realize that Tenkan is making roughly minimum 7 to 8 days, right? If you take this Tenkan bend from year to year, it made 11 days. So, but this one made on daily, this one is made this bending made till here, made 66 days, like 2 months and a half, right? 2 months. So you can actually see that when it can bend on the daily time frame, it can make at least 1 week or 2 weeks for a downtrend. So you can actually predict the downtrend movement for 2 weeks as soon as they can bend on daily, right? For 2 weeks, something like that for 2 weeks. So that's we did it on previous video. I'm just talking about what we already did. And now the plateaus of Tenkan make the price come back to Tenkan. We already know that. Like when the price was going up to the upside side like this plateau, when Tenkan created the plateau, the candle went toward Tenkan. We already know it. That's how the market move. That's the power. Knowing that gives you a lot of power, elite power, right? Now, we have the setup of income decision. You know that at the end of the day, we want to make money. And what I'm saying here is that every setup of monthly, weekly, daily, and 4-hour give you the cash, give you the money, give you the dollars. What do I call every setup? It's like we are on daily, right? This daily, when the candle, when the Tenkan has been touched, it is a money opportunity for you to buy. So now it's at this stage that you know that you can make trading like a business. A lot of YouTubers, a lot of gurus say make trading look like a business, treat it like a business, but their method has holes. It's like their strategy. I mean, those generic strategy has holes like that. Treat trading like a business, but when I try to put my money like water on this bucket, it starts flowing out, running away through a bucket holes because their strategy has too many flows, too many ifs. Somebody want to know the direction of the market and he starts to say if the trade go this, then if there are many ifs that and I hate it. But with Ishimoku Vjta, right, and the Vjta Ishimoku cycle, you know that each setup that is touched on daily is a money opportunity. It is a money opportunity you should just buy at this level. So that's when you see, when you see on this daily setup, you don't just go on 1 hour and see where Tenkan is bending to the upside, and then you buy in. This is a money opportunity, right? Every setup, even on monthly, which happen rarely, but will happen sometimes. The last time on gold that the setup has been touched is far away on November 2023. Far away, far. But you have weekly setup that the last time a weekly setup has been touched here is just recently, like few weeks away, like 24 November. So every setup that is being touched on daily, weekly are income setup, income decision setup. So an elite player, let me tell you something. You have two different type of time frames. The time frame that start from 4 hour, daily, weekly, and monthly are income decision, are decided time frame. Those are decided time frame to make the dollars, the money. But all of the time frame below, like 1 hour, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, are entry time frame. Don't go on lower time frame and start trying to make the decision to make the money. The decision to make the money are made here on this time frame. Only this time frame from 4 hours. If you make any decision on 1 hour, 15 minutes because you want to do scalping, even scalping start from weekly, daily, 4 hour, monthly. Okay. Don't make decision based on lower time frame. That's the one thing that I want to tell you. So now I have one thing that I call here the setup collision. The setup collision is basically the setup collision. What I'm talking about the setup collision here is when you have too close setup. Let me go and look at it on Bitcoin. I think I remember that I saw it on Bitcoin here. Look, for example, on Bitcoin, you know that this one was a daily setup, right? At this level. And then when I didn't know, when I did not, because you know that I created the Vjta Ishimoku cycle at the end of, after showing all of this, I was meditating. It's just recently that I created the Vjta Ishimoku cycle that I show you, which is the best way to know the market. So when you see these cycles, I fall down on in front of what I call a setup collision. You have a daily setup here, and let us suppose that you don't know the candle that are on the left, on the right of this green candle. You will see that on 4 hour, when you go on 4 hour, on daily you have a setup, on 4 hour you have another setup close to the next one, right? Like this. So you see that the setup are so close to each other. The setup are so close to each other. And that thing pisses me off because you know that you are on a weekly kijun. This is a weekly kijun, right? But this is a daily this is the daily kijun, and this is the H4 tenkan. Do you buy or do you sell? What are you fucking doing? You are very confused about. But because you tell yourself, like, if I buy here, but I am inside a kijun setup, it means that I will be the market will reverse itself very soon. So that is like a setup collision. That's what I call setup collision, because the space between the Kijun setup and
the daily setup and the H4 setup is very tiny. It's a small space, space that barely give you even the place to have a 1:1 ratio, right? That barely give you a place to have a 1:1 ratio. If you have a like a, a stop loss here below, you don't know exactly. So that's what I call setup collision. That's when I didn't yet have the. That's when I didn't yet have the Vjta Ishimoku cycle that I had this problem. So later on, I created the Vjta Ishimoku cycle, and I knew that at this level, because on daily you have a correction, you know that on daily that's the end of the correction. When you know that on daily, that's the end of the correction. Like you have something like this. You know that on daily, that's the end of the correction, right? This is a daily correction. You know that this is the daily correction. So when you know the Vjta Ishimoku cycle, you know that the daily correction will stop here. So there's no point of you. So there's no point of you starting to buy on 4 hour here with too much hope, because this is a daily correction that's the end of year. But my principle on Vjta Ishimoku cycle, there is at least one correction. There is at least one correction during a cycle. And the first correction since the beginning here is this one. So at least one correction during a cycle, at least minimum one correction. That's what I'm talking about here. One correction, minimum one correction. So that's the setup. You will be afraid of setup collision when there is two setup like this, one on daily, one on 4 hour, very close to each other, and a tiny space. You'll be afraid of it. You will be lost, confused, because you didn't just use the Vjta Ishimoku cycle. The Vjta Ishimoku cycle is the elite version of trading. What do I mean? What do I mean? You know that in trading we have three type of traders. We have the amateur, where we have the amateur, right? Where we have the trading plan, the strategies, the strategies, the journal, the journal. That's for amateur. Amateur need to learn a little bit some school type of way of trading with some rules, some type of rules like entry, exit, all of that. Now the professional analysis. Then the second, the second type of trader is the professional analysis. The professional analyst, right? The professional analyst. Or the professional analyst is the one who analyzes the market, but the guy is still figuring out exactly how to trade with certainty, because in his analysis he has some uncertainty in it, or certain uncertainty in it. That is the professional analyst. Because you are an analyst because you want to make decision to buy and sell, right? So the amateur has some simple plan, simple strategy, simple journaling, and all, and with some sort of simple rules that you need to follow every day. But the elite, what I call the elite trader, you recognize yourself if you're already an elite when you become an elite. The elite trader has only one thing. He is the decider. He only make decision. All of this part, he already have all of this. He already have all of this. He's a decider. All of this, he doesn't need any more a plan, any more a structure, any more a journal, any more a rule that you need to take a book like this and start reading it before the trade, reading. That's at your beginning that you do that. He is no more confused or uncertain. He's so he's so ready that he only decide like Lionel Messi, like Stephen Curry. He's so ready. He knows every part of the market. The elite decider has the Vjta Ishimoku in his blood. He master it. So we have three types of trader. And on YouTube, on those gurus sell those all of those older course than mine. Keep repeating this to the amateur. They sell journal tools. They talk about simple strategy. It's not about the simple strategy. It's not about the plan. It's not about the rules. It's not about like you need to be certain when you say that you want to make money like a business. You want to treat trading like a business. You want to treat trading like a business, and you don't have certainty about the money that you will make. That is so crazy fucked up for you. You need to have certainty about the money that you will make. It should not be an analyst where you who have the ifs, because the analysis, the problem with the analysis is that right when he does his analysis, he has a lot of ifs. If the trade goes like this at this zone, then I will. Then if then he has a lot of ifs. I hate it. But a decider has decision to make. He knows the entry and the exit, because when you see the Vjta Ishimoku cycle that I show you, it is a cycle like this, right? Let us take, for example, the origin stage. On the origin stage, you realize that the Vjta Ishimoku cycle, I give you the entry and the take profit and the take profit directly. That's the decision you make. And the decision, the way you make the decision is not like by sleeping on the chart, start being confused. You already know what to do. And moreover, you have this lofty leg that I talked to you about to make a better decision, right? So that's how you recognize the elite trader and you all recognize the amateur. That's the difference between elite and you will recognize then the amateur trader compared to the elite trader by knowing how he is thinking about. The elite trader is thinking about cycles. He's thinking in cycles. The amateur trader has only plan, strategy in his mind, right? That is what I try to say. So the income decision, look at something about this part of the document. I'm telling you that the income decision, if you want to make trading like a business, you need to. A business doesn't want uncertainty that professional analyst has. If you are a pro analyst trader, right? Sometimes you have something that is called uncertainty. But if you want to trading like a business, like an elite trader, right? You need to have only certainty of when and where you will make the money. You should not be uncertain. That's the one characteristic of an elite. And when you see the Vjta Ishimoku cycle, it's only the Vjta Ishimoku cycle that gives you certainty. When you see the Vjta Ishimoku cycle, you see that here there's the entry, here there's take profit. I'd basically give you certainty how much money you will make, the dollars, how much dollars you will make. With certainty with the Vjta Ishimoku cycle, it has certainty. There are people on YouTube who say, oh, don't look for certainty in business. This is what you can lose. Man. If you are doing a real business, you cannot take transport to go and meet a client that you don't know if he will give you money. You cannot be spending times meeting clients that don't give you money. What do we call treating trading like a business, but with uncertainty? What is uncertainty about? What is uncertainty about the business? It's not the money that you can make. It is the consumption shift, because Back in the days, we were doing transaction hand to hand. Now we are doing transaction with digital platform. Now we are doing, recently we are doing transaction with crypto. It's just the consumption, the way people consume the product, the way people approach the product. Now we are approaching almost every service and every product via the digital form. That's what is uncertain. That is what is changing. But what should not never change? What never change? The certainty that when you open this business, you will sell your restaurant plate, you will sell your car if you are a car dealership. You cannot start talking to people who cannot afford to buy cars. That's why a business does what in advance? A client avatar. A business has what? A client avatar. A business doesn't talk to everybody. And this avatar, the most important thing is this avatar. Can he afford to pay my service? The financial level. If you want to sell a product that is, let us say $10,000, will you go and target some people who work on factories where the salary is $2,000 per month? No, you will target consultant, you will target business owner, other business owner who have $10,000 to pay you. So inside your avatar, you will cancel this type of people. So you are certain that this amount of money will come to you as soon as you keep targeting consultant, coaches, keynote speakers, celebrities. Those are the people who have the money to pay you. This is what is certain about the business. The client that you talk to must give you the money. The same thing with trading. You must making moves that where you are setting to earn the money, not start doing if I can go and meet him, we talk, he can give me money. No. Without you, does he have 10,000 extra to pay for your service? Can he afford it? If he is just a bottom level farmer who only has like two in front of his door, is planting some corn seed and he's eating it for a living in a poor country, you will never have 10,000. So if you want to treat trading like a business, you need to use the Vjta Ishimoku cycle. The Vjta Ishimoku cycle, when you see very well the Vjta Ishimoku cycle, when you see the Vjta Ishimoku cycle, give you directly the entry and the take profit. That is the money. Give you directly the entry and the take profit. That is the money. Let us suppose that this is a weekly setup. This is a monthly setup. Let us suppose that because we are on a daily time frame. This will be the origin. And with this, you already know how much money you will make. When you enter here, your first target is this schedule. You already know it with the Vjta Ishimoku cycle. The Vjta Ishimoku cycle gives you the money before the money appears. Like this. It gives you this move, the entry and the take profit. This is the money that you can make. It doesn't just give you the stop loss. So when you want to make the income, when you want to make this income decision, the Vjta Ishimoku cycle has those setup already. I'm saying that it is on the monthly setup, the weekly setup, the daily setup, the H4 setup that you make the income decision. And when you see Vjta Ishimoku cycle, Vjta Ishimoku cycle is made of income decision already. The entry is what? The entry here is what? The empty space. On daily here, the entry what? The entry here is what? The empty space of daily. It is a setup, right? So we have already an income decision that is a daily setup. The take profit is what? Another daily setup that is scheduled. So you see that the Vjta Ishimoku gave you income decision within the stages of the cycle already. So that's why the Vjta Ishimoku cycle is the ultimate elite way of trading. The ultimate elite way of trading. So let's look at the setup impact length. You know that everything that is on the elite power here, we already did it. I'm just making it in this form for you to have it in one table, in one format. So now the setup impact length you already know. You know that the setup impact length is what I showed you here on the dashboard. You see that at this level, I show you the length of Kijun, the length of Tenkan. It means that if you go on daily, for example, you will see that when the candle touches Tenkan, how many pips does it move to the upside? For this one, it moved by 1 million pips. For this other setup, it moved up by 300k pips. For this other one, it moved up by 800,000 pips. So you see that you have a sort of average minimum. So you can actually have it in your mind, right? On weekly setup, daily setup, H4 setup, even on monthly setup. It's just that monthly setup can take like 3 years. 3 years to act on. Okay, so let us move to the direction timing. The direction timing, what I'm explaining here for about the first course is that you realize that Tenkan has this way. When you have the ticket close to the downside like that, this one is Kijun. This one is Kijun. And then Tenkan bend to the downside. At the first course like this, Tenkan will bend to the upside again before going down. This is the normal movement of Tenkan. Even if the price have to go down, Tenkan, like as soon as the first time that Tenkan at the first course, right? At the first course, Tenkan bend to the downside before going up to the upside, because a course is a very significant point of the psychology of the market. It's like your first kiss with the first time that you kiss you kissed a woman. You were shaking. It was new to you. It was like, wow. You were shaking, those emotional thing, right? That happened to you. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with the market. Each first time that ticket courses, it will start. It will have the market will have some emotion to retrace a little bit, right? Let us look at it on some places. You will see. See for example here. See for example this course. You see that this ticket course crossed here, right? And then it went a little bit to the upside, then went down. It's a normal movement. It doesn't mean that it will necessarily continue to the upside. No, it's a normal movement because it's like your first kiss. The cross is a very crossing. This ticket cross is a very powerful point. So the retracement arrives sometime a little bit like this. So that's what I want to emphasize about the timing. Now we have the early direction, which is the golden direction, the golden cross, and the secure direction, which is the diamond cross. So let us talk about this, for example. You see that during this downtrend movement, we first of all had this golden cross, right? The golden cross is the cross between Tenkan and Kijun. And then later on, we had this KASB, Kijun, and SSB cross. So the earliest direction indicator was the golden one, the number one. Then this one followed down. But the most secure is the KSB. The most secure is the KSB. I talked to it about in the basic training. I talk about it in the basic training. Now, now you also have secure timing and unsure timing. Like when we talk about certainty, the first time, as I told you, Let us take an example. Let us take this example, for example. I told you that a setup can be touched 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, right? An Ishimoku line can be touched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. But the 3, 4, 5 times are reversal touches. But the 1 and 2 first touch are the continuity touches, so they have more power. It is more secure to enter there than to enter near to the end. So, for example, since this cost, we have this first touch of Tenkan. Then we had this second touch of Tenkan. Those are the most secure touches. From the third one, the market is already falling down too much. Now you have the third, the fourth. The market starts reversing from the fourth. So the third one here was even the last. So you already know it. I told you that. I explained to you about it earlier, right? So that's the direction timing. That's the power. Another power is the speed on structure. The speed on structure, the number one speed on structure is the Tenkan hitting the wick, the VRS wick, hitting the VRS wick on the left. That is the first. That's the first one. That is the first one. So you already know it because when you go on USD GPY, for example, we already know it, right? When you see Tenkan hitting this, when Tenkan arrive at this level, right? When Tenkan is exactly at this vertical level, right? The candle start to bend to the downside. So that's what happened there. When Tenkan hit the variance, you already know that is the first speed on structure. Normally, I should have said speed on setups like this, but I prefer to say speed on structure. So the next speed of reversal is the FAT. You already know the FAT. You already know the FAT. For example, this one is a FAT. For example, this one is a TK FAT, right? On weekly. If you go on monthly, you will see that we were on a set of monthly Kijun, right? And on weekly, we had this FAT. It means that on a set of monthly, the FAT appears to signify a speed of reversal. That's what I'm talking about. Even the Tenkan hit VRS is a speed of reversal. Now the next speed of reversal is the Shiku FAT. The Shiku FAT. The next speed of reversal is the Shiku FAT. See, for example, you know that when Shiku is at this level, right, the candle are on top here, isn't it? But this whole candle has been created already. So Shiku is at the top here like a water tap. A water tap like this. This is a water tap, like a tap water, like a tap water, and there is a bucket here that Shiku need to fill. So Shiku is this water tap tool. How do we call it? They call it in French robinet. A faucet, a water faucet, right? A water faucet. Shiku is like a water faucet. When it arrives near to a bucket like this, right, you need to fall down. This is a speed of reversal. We already know it. I explained to you about it previously, right? The next one is the empty on the H4 empty. The H4 empty. The next thing is the H4 empty. Each time a candle is in the empty space, any candle that is in the empty space like this is already a speed of reversal. If you are not touching any Ishimoku line, you are not inside between the Ishimoku line like this, and you are out, you are in the empty space, you are a reversal point. Now there is another part that is called is the fission, the horizontal fission. The horizontal fission is also a speed of reversal. Let us go on 4 hour. You will see an horizontal fission something. Was it on 4 hour that I saw it? Okay, look at this. An horizontal fission is also a speed of reversal. Look, for example, the candle goes to the upside. Arrive at the upside here. See how Tenkan and Kijun. Tenkan is horizontal. Then Kijun is also horizontally placed. And they are in fusion. When candles are above here, the candle cannot move. If Kijun and Tenkan remain in fusion horizontally, I didn't say incline, I said horizontally, the candles are forced to go down to reverse themselves. That's also a speed of reversal. We saw it. I showed you it previously. Then you have the reversal by the number of touches of Tenkan. Right? The reversal by the number of touches of Tenkan setup. The third, the fourth, and the fifth, you already know that is a reversal speed. The speed of reversal. Now one speed of continuity is the end of the correction. Let us take a correction. This one was a correction, yes, but let us take another correction for example. Let us take this correction for example. The speed of continuity start at the end. This one was the whole correction on 4 hour, and the speed of correction started from here. The speed of continuity. The speed of continuity started at the end of the correction, the TK correction. The TK correction finished his move on SSB. The speed of continuity, the continuity start there at SSB. You already know it. The speed of continuity is also when the candles move to the downside like this, and then Tenkan is inclined to the downside. The candle come and touch Tenkan. The candle will fall down to the downside, and then the candle move again and touch Tenkan again, fall down to the downside, and you will see that the continuity happen when we keep breaking the VRS. We keep breaking the lows. We keep breaking the lows. That's the speed of continuity. We touch Kijun and then we break this low. We touch Kijun and break the low. The VRS low, right? I pray the Lord break the low. So that's it. So another speed of continuity is when the setup has been touched one and two times. We already know it. You already know it. Even this one, logical. Let me talk about this one. Let me talk about okay, for this one, right? If you put the dry price, you remove Ishimoku, you will realize that the price is going down like this, going down, creating the new low, creating this new low. But this one was the last support, last support of the previous time. When the candle will come back to close to this support on the left of this leg of Fluffy, the candles will stop here and continue. Why? Because this leg of Fluffy broke this V and then continue. This is also a speed of continuity. That's very logical. So you see all of the speed of continuity, the speed of on structure. Then you have the time frame skipping method, right? The time frame skipping method by 2. That's why what I explained here. That's what I am explaining just right here. You already know it. You already know it. I showed you it previously. Right? Like the time frame skipping method is time frame skipping by 2 is that you have 3 time frames like this: the weekly, the daily, and the 4-hour. You look at the setup on weekly, then you skip daily, you go on 4-hour, and you place your entry on an inverted Tenkan. That's what I'm talking about, and I explained to you it on a previous video. So when you have, for example, this setup on weekly, this one, right? You go on 4-hour. You go on 4-hour. You see this inverted Tenkan, right? This inverted Tenkan like this. Then you place your entry. That is the time frame skipping by 2 method. It's a non-linear analysis. And you can do it from monthly to daily. You skip weekly. From weekly to H4, you skip daily. From daily to H1, you skip H4. For H4 to M5, M15 is not the gun. 15 minutes. You skip H1. Now you can do it from H1 to five minutes. Then you have the time frame skipping method. So now the next thing is this one. This one is about deciding the maximum stop loss. I'm saying here you need to leave some breathing space when you place your stop loss. We talked about it already, right? When you place your stop loss, leave some breathing gap on the bottom of the VSL, right? Let us say, for example, here you have this position. This one you had a you have here a weekly setup, then you have here the origin, right? The origin. When you have this origin and then you go on 15 minutes, you enter somewhere here. You need to leave some breathing gap below, right, on 15 minutes. And it's sometimes better for this kind of for this place to try to look on 1 hour. A 1 hour stop loss will always be better than a 15-minute stop loss. Anyway, that's what I am trying to say. But the maximum stop loss, what is the use of maximum stop loss? You need to understand that, right? The market moves to the upside. I will never touch a certain low. Let us say when the market moves like this, you will see that this point, right, is the maximum stop loss. Why? Is the maximum stop loss that are called VSLY. Because we broke this VRS. This bottom point, right? The market cannot go down and break this one. It's impossible. Next thing for this one, it is the maximum stop loss just because when you look left, we just broke the VRS here. This one is also the maximum stop loss because we just broke the VRS here, right? That's the idea about the maximum stop loss. But this thing will happen only 1, 2, 3 times. Now, the 4 times, it can also create a higher high, but we will break it. So it has a number of times that it works. But if you are at the beginning, it's the first time that it show you something like this. It is the maximum stop loss. That's the idea around the maximum stop loss. It's like it is like what is happening now on gold. We have this movement. We created this high. We broke this VRS, right? And then we have this low, this which is the maximum stop loss. So the trend must keep going up to the upside from there. So the market cannot reach this level. This is the maximum. That's the idea how the maximum is for you to block. It is for you to block a side. You know that in trading, you only have the upside and the bottom side. You have the upside and the bottom side, right? In trading. So the maximum stop loss help you block one side. The bottom will never happen below this wick. You block it. You totally eliminate the level where you never see a sell. That is what we call maximum stop loss. It blocks a side. It erases in the conversation one side, and it leaves you only with only one direction. So trading stop being a 50-50 game style. Trading forex, NDC stop being a 50-50 gameplay, because you are erasing your one side with the maximum stop loss. It becomes now a 100% game in one direction. You don't have a 50-50% game as some guru says on Facebook ad, YouTube ad, to make as if forex is a 50-50% game, a 50-50 game. No, it's not 50-50. It's not relationship. It's not broken relationship. Let's do 50. What do you call 50? What are you calling 50-50? Pay her flowers. Pay her food. Pay her the house. What are you calling 50-50? 50-50 is for broken relationship. Weak men. Simps. Real men take responsibility, isn't it? There's no such, even life is not 50-50. If you are a child, you know the amount of effort that, if you are a child and you grew up and now you are 40 years old, like some of you guys, you are 40 years old, or you are between 20 and 40 years old. You do know the amount of effort it takes to raise a child from 1 year old to 20 years old. Do you think that is a joke? Minimum 20 years old, do you think that is a joke? Do you think that you can do 50-50 with your parent? That's a broken life. You cannot do 50-50 with your parent. Somebody else must think about feeding you, looking for ways to feed you. Life is complicated. Life has up and downs. So life is not 50-50. So you need to make sure that you eliminate the 50-50 game of forex in your mind. Life is not fucking 50-50. Life is 100%. You give your 100% for your kids. If we are not even talking about wife and husband here doing 50-50, let us talk about kids. Raising kids is not about 50-50, my boy. It's 100%. It's like even 1,000. That's why some people don't want to have kids. It's a huge investment. They only have money for themselves. They even struggle to have themselves alive. How will they raise a kid? And they don't want to go and beg money left, right to the family member and friend and look like a PC person. They don't want to start doing a shady life or some type of jobs that ruin their reputation, their image, or some sort of thing because they have some moral ethics and all for some people. But there are some people who are forced to do that life to raise those kids. It means that raising kids is not 50-50. It is 10,000% over 0% 50-50. What do you call 50-50? Oh, fuck. Forest market is not 50-50. You eat glue or what? You don't just know how to trade. Yeah. So forest market is 50-50. Go and sell your bullshit course. So let us now talk about, hey, I did not talk about. So let us now talk about the entry. The entry is obvious. I don't know why I should talk about the entry. The only thing that I will remind to you that is obligatory is that your decision to enter is on a setup that hits at least H4. The entry, a setup on an H4 setup must be hit at least. It is on Tenkan embedded that you enter. You already know it. Tenkan embedded that we enter. That's what I'm talking about here. So let us keep the entry. Let us go on risk on capital. Now you have two types of risk on capital. I realized that I did not talk about it on the French course. So you have two types of risk on capital. You have the fixed percentage. These colors are not showing up very well. You have the fixed percentage risk on capital. Like you risk a fixed percentage, like I risk 5% per trade, all my trade. I risk 30% per trade, all my trade. I risk 50% per trade, all my trade, right? That is a fixed risk in terms of percentage, a fixed percentage. That's the type of risk on capital. Then you have a blocked amount. Let me explain to you this block amount. When I pass phase one on a prop firm, I use a blocked amount idea. You have a blocked amount, the way you risk. So for a block amount, what I did is that I had a prop firm that I bought. It was a $10,000 capital, right? They said that you cannot make the account go to 9,000. So I only have $1,000 margins. So what I told myself is that I will only take $100 and trade with it. So I really blocked $9,900 was blocked, like untouchable. If I don't grow up this $100, then I literally stop to trade. So in this $100, right? Now my capital is normal in my head, in my hand, in my calculus. My capital is no more $10,000. My capital is no 9,000. It's not 900. It's only $100, right? Now on this $100, I was risking per one trade, right? Per trade in one trade, I was risking $25 in one trade. $25 in one trade. So which is roughly 25% of the $100. So For my blocked amount money that I'm using, I risk 25% of it per trade in one trade. So as soon as I make $30, I will cut in the trade. Next trade, I risk again. I will risking this $100 till I make another $100 out of it. Like I increase the $100 plus another $100. So unless I make $200, my account still blocked like this at 9,900. Okay. My account stay blocked at 9,900. As soon as I make $100 more, right? Then I block my account at 10,000. Then when I make again $100 more, right? When I increase again $100 more, it means that I've earned plus $300, right? I block now 100 and 1,000 or 10,000 and $100. I block this. So that's how our blocking amount of money by stage. It means, what does it mean? It means that I have a bar like this. They give me 10K here. They say that you cannot put my account on down below 9,000. If not, you lose the account. So I took $100 here, right? I said that I will only risk my percentage on this $100. So I have four trades to lose it. So I was risking 25% per trade, right? In one trade. So when I make $100, when I increase my, like I make back the $100 that I blocked, this amount that I blocked. So I make it back. I then push up my blockage from here to 10K. Then I make again $100 for me. So I make again $100 here, right? It means that I have $200 more. Then I block now my account at 10,100. That's how I was doing. Till I grew up the account till $1,000 to $11,000 to pass the phase one. So that's the block amount money. It means that in your mental, you are only trading $100. You are not trading 10K. That's the way to risk on your capital. Okay. So now let us talk about the take profit. So now the take profit, we have many take profit. So let us go. Let us go on Bitcoin. When the trade moves like this, and if you enter here, right, on the first take profit is when the candle that moves to the upside like this will come and break. The V breaker is the first take profit. The V breaker is the first take profit. The V breaker is the first take profit. So let us take an example. Let us say, for example, that if you entered on this Tenkan, right, your first take profit will have been by this week. You place your stop loss here, and then you add something on the week here. You see? This is the first take profit. This is on H4. So when you do the analysis, you place a take profit that way. I try to have a better. Okay, let us take this example. Let us say that you enter here, right? You enter in a trade here, and then this V is this V, right? That will be break, will be your take profit. You aim here logically. That's the first. So the V that broke it is this week. This week broke. So that's the first take profit. Now the second take profit is the second take profit is the Tenkan hit VRS. When Tenkan arrive around here, and then Tenkan touching this wick of the candles, it is your second take profit. For me, a take profit, right, doesn't mean that a take profit doesn't mean that TP1 doesn't mean that TP2 is above TP1, then TP3 is above TP2. That's not what I mean. I mean that I'm giving you style, AB take profit play style, right? So the next take profit will be Tenkan hitting on hitting VRS on 4-hour daily, then the one that hit on weekly. That's how you can hold the trade. If you see a Tenkan hitting a VRS, this is the resistance. Tenkan hitting it, the second take profit is here. But if you go on daily, Tenkan hitting this candle, when Tenkan touch the candle, this resistance here, the candle, the take profit number 2 on daily is far above here. For the weekly, we have not yet touched the resistance. That's how you can know that you see that it's not about having a series, a stacked take profit 1, 2, 3, like logically, like normally, like everybody says. It's about me showing you all of the type of take profit, and you understand it fractally, in a fractal way, right? The 4-hour take profit of Tenkan the VRS on the left is here, but the daily is above here. So if you let the trade go with the daily one, you will have more money. So the next take profit is the Tenkan Ruben on H1, H4 daily, then Tenkan, then weekly. So when you look at this, for this whole buy, right? When you go on 1 hour, if you bought there, you will realize something. If you bought there, right? You will realize something. You realize that Tenkan Reben on H1 bended down first year. So this one will have been your first take profit on H1. Then the next one will be this one, this Reben. Then they can move up and then rebend here again. Those are all of the take profit plays. Then they can move to the upside and then bend it down again here for the third time, then the fourth time. So you see what I mean, then the fifth time. Then you see what I mean. Those are all of the take profit on H1 for Tenkan bending down. Then you have on H4
what do you have on H4? But on H4, they can bend it down only one time here. Just this. But the market did not fall down at this level, right? You could have just break even your trade just to make sure that you don't get exited. But then till now, there is no bending down of Tenkan on H4. So you can keep, there's no rebend of Tenkan on H4 daily and weekly. So you can keep your trade moving to the upside. You can keep holding your trade. So let's talk about the take profit number 4. Any setup on daily, weekly, and maximum, any setup on H4 daily and weekly maximum wide above are setups. So let me take an example. Here we are on H4, right? Let us say, for example, you bought this this SSB. Your take profit will have been this Kijun on H4, right? But if you go on daily at this same position, you will have where is the at this same position, yeah. At this same position, you have a Tenkan setup where you can take profit. Any setup here will any setup is a take profit setup. Now you have a take profit per cycle. What I showed you is that the Vjta Ishimoku cycle is already made on of take profit and the entry and take profit directly. Let us say this is a weekly setup, right? This one is what? The origin on H4. The origin here is the entry, and here is what? They take profit. The Vjta Ishimoku cycle already give you entry and take profit. This one is the reversal, right? The entry here and the take profit here on SSB. You get the point? And then this is the new trend. So you already have the take profit with the Vjta Ishimoku cycle itself. Right? Then the last take profit will be the zone projected by the length, like the take profit projected by the zone length, the setup zone length, by the setup zone length. So what I call setup zone length is what I showed you here. I showed you here that every setup has a minimum amount of it that it moves to the upside, and then you can predict it. So let us say, for example, let's go on Bitcoin. Let us say, for example, that you make a remark that the Bitcoin has the habit of falling. The Kijun on Bitcoin usually fall down to the downside by minimum 400,000 pips, right? So you take your position, you place like this, and then you aim 400,000 pips without looking at any Ishimoku line, any setup above time frame like a fractal way, right? You just aim with the Ishimoku, with this tool, you aim like this, 400,000. This will be your position, and then you aim this. Like anytime the Kijun will be touched. Let me find another Kijun. Let us say you have this Kijun. You place your sell on Kijun like this, and the take profit, this green part, you aim 400,000 like this. This is also a take profit play style without trying to think about any line reversal and all. You place it because based per your data that you gathered. You know that I show you here You can have the USD GPY, US30, the gold, and the Bitcoin. But the data that you gather on Bitcoin, you will realize that the Bitcoin fall down by 400,000 pips. Then you can just aim there as a take profit. That's what I'm talking about here. So now let us talk about the execution drawing model. The execution drawing model is just the fact that you know that when the market moves to the upside, right, it creates what? It creates M figure. Like this, when the candles move to the upside, this one is like an M later, right? It keep moving like an M later. And when it is falling down like this, it is falling down like what? Like a W shape falling down, isn't it? Nice. So that is the basics. That is the basics of the execution model. So this one is a buy and falling down like a, and the sell fall down like a W shape. That's what I'm talking about here. So we execute a buy here, right, for the entry, and then waiting to break it again here. That's how we do it. Now there's another execution drawing model that I want to talk to you about, which is this one. Sometimes you will see something happening like this. Let us take this example here. You will see that inside a 4-hour, right? When you do a linear time frame, this one is a Tenkan 4-hour, right? Let me mark it in orange. So when you go on 1 hour at this level, when you go on 1 hour at this level, you will see something. You will see that Kijun rise like this, and I will draw this Kijun with a purple color. Then you go on 4 hour, you will see that the drawings of the Kijun and the Kijun on 1 hour is on purple, right? So when you go and buy, when you make an entry here on 4 hour, when you make an entry here on 4 hour, when you make this entry, right, on 4 hour here, at the same time, you are making an entry on Kijun 1 hour. Yeah, like this. That is what is happening. And that looks a little bit like this. It's like you have Tenkan 4 hour here, Kijun 4 hour like this, and in the middle here, you have a 1 hour Kijun. So you have the H1 line, yeah, but that is H4, that is H4. So you have a little bit of a fractal, that's the fractal execution, like the way the drawings look like. There are some indicator that shows it. If you go on indicator, you please order Ishimoku indicator. I did not make a research before doing the video. There is a guy here who I don't know if maybe it is this guy who drew that type of Ishimoku. I used it one time. I don't know. I will not do the research now, but let me remove my own indicator. Ishimoku. It's not. No, I don't think it's this guy. There guy who created that a sort of Ishimoku that draws what I talked to you about. That draws like the 1 hour, the fractal Ishimoku execution. I just wanted to draw this model for you. Like the H1 SSB is inside the H4 TK. So now let us talk about the Vjta Ishimoku cycle, the last one. You already know the Vjta Ishimoku cycle, right? Let us say, for example, that we are on let's take which example. Let's take, for example, this example. We have this setup, and then we have the origin here, right? Then you have the reversal here. This is the Vjta Ishimoku cycle. Then we have the transition here. Then we have the new trend here. Then you have the correction here. Then we have the push trend at this level, right? Isn't it? So this is the whole cycle. This is the whole Vjta Ishimoku cycle. But now I talk to you about the leg of Luffy, the fractal leg of Luffy. Right. So I talked to you about the leg of Luffy to a little bit indicate to you till where the market can go minimum if it fall down, right? You remember about the leg of Luffy. You remember about the leg of Luffy on the previous video. For example, on this correction, you have a whole leg of Luffy here. And this green candle is the first stop of the correction, right? So a red candle stop it. This one is a green candle for this the downtrend. It's a green candle that stop the price. So then you have the fact that the Vjta Ishimoku cycle has 2 correction maximum. Generally 2. Sometimes 3, and rarely 4. We saw it in the previous video. Those are things that you already know. Right? The Vjta Ishimoku has 2 corrections. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So, for example, on this whole trend, you see that this one was an origin, the reversal, the sort of transition, a trend, a new trend that is upward, but who played out. This one was the new trend. The now correction. This one was one correction. Then the push. Then we didn't have 2 corrections. This was just 1 correction, minimum 1 correction. Now, the thing is that the KSB TK cost is also a correction, right? So this is the minimum 1 correction. Then this is 2 correction. I talked to you about it previously. Those are then the elite power of Vjta that will make you a genius trader, because it includes fractal on it. It includes a lot of things that will help you make a very, very, very good decision about your trading. Use it and never be afraid again. Make money. Make money like a decider, not like a gambler who thinks the market is 50-50. There is no 50-50 in the market. Keep winning in trading.